Hello and welcome to the bonus Special Moves podcast.
Another slow entrance.
The number of which I've got no idea. I don't know what number it is.
I've even named this project file 15 or 16. So
Even Liam
yeah.
doesn't know. Do you know what I mean? This is
it's not like any
no hope.
barometer to compare against.
It's a little bit of a delayed podcast,
Yeah.
podcast, because we owe you one from last week. But don't worry, because on Sunday when we meet up again, we'll record the next one. So you'll get two within 7 days.
Back
of each
to
other.
back
Yeah.
bonus podcasts.
It does feel like a while since we've done it. And I don't know if it's because I've kind of watched quite a lot of telly and stuff since. Films, you know, I haven't really seen any.
We like to say film.
Yes, film, singular.
On this
I've not
podcast.
seen much film lately, no.
I watched a few. I watched a couple of films on Saturday, back-to-back viewings. Get this for a back-to-back screening, right?
Okay.
A Ghost Story, right?
Good film.
With
Good
Casey
film.
Affleck, which was good. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that before, and I really enjoyed that. It's about Casey Affleck being a ghost. The end.
In a sheet, in a sheet.
Like a
Without
child's
saying a
Halloween
sing-
costume.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can't. Well, he doesn't speak.
No.
He
Well,
has a bed sheet on
He
him.
does when he's in human form.
when he's in human form, he does this.
he mumbles a lot.
As Casey Affleck is wont to do.
Yeah. 3 minutes into the film, he dies, and then he's a silent ghost for the rest of it.
Yeah. And it's kind of like,
Good though.
if you're a bit cynical of indie movies, you can be like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's very wanky. It's
Yeah.
even got a wanky aspect ratio, hasn't it?
oh, yes.
Is it
It's-
square?
Not only is it square, it's got little curves on the
Yep.
thing as well.
Like a
It's,
Instagram.
It's the Academy ratio, I think it's called.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Same as what the Lighthouse is shot in.
Yeah.
Not that we've seen it yet, because we don't get it till January.
Like the
but
old TV shape, innit? Got curvy
Yeah.
corners on the TV, innit?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that was good. And then after that, I watched Training Day with Denzel
You did a bit of
Washington,
pick me up the gym.
and which is a fucking banger. Like,
It's a great film, Training Day.
I'm sure. I didn't think I'd seen it, but then like halfway through, I was like, I'm pretty sure I watched this in uni, so about 2000.
It's that sort of film.
Yeah, but I probably will forget it that I've seen it again. But to be honest, it was.
Denzel
An
got
idiot
the
to relive
Oscar.
it again.
Yeah.
He got the Oscar for it.
Yeah, and it is good. It's like takes a look. I feel like it was a bit of a caricature, I thought, for a little bit, but then it sort of becomes more interesting
He
as a
matures.
character.
It's got
Good,
Denzel Washington
yeah.
and Ethan Hawke, two
Yeah. Well,
stars.
and Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
in cameos. Yeah,
Yeah. So what's that? Speaking of Dr. Dre, I actually watched the Dr. Dre documentary, start to finish, on Netflix, called The Defiant Ones.
Documentary.
The Defiant
I've
Ones.
heard of this. I've not seen it.
It's so.
Isn't that multiple people?
It's multiple people.
Isn't it Ice Cube as well?
I think Marilyn Manson. Is Marilyn Manson in
Yeah.
one?
Isn't it a series that?
Oh well, there's 4 episodes about Dr. Dre.
I think each one is about like a pop culture figure who was quite controversial.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Oh, right. So I didn't know that it was. Yeah, because Marilyn Manson's definitely one, and
I've
so is
seen him
Ice
in the
Cube.
thumbnail.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I was concerned, it was the Defiant Ones, 4 episodes. I watched it, and it was all about Dr. Dre. So unless there's different ones for different,
Maybe.
How defiant was Dr. Dre? Tell me.
pretty defiant, mate.
Was he?
But what's
Well-
also defiant? He was the documentary is billed mainly as a Dr. Dre documentary.
Yeah.
But it's half of it is about this producer who's behind the scenes, who's nothing to do with Dr.
And who is
Dre
he?
until
Is it the Yoji Shinkawa
it
of producers?
kind of.
I'm interested to hear about this because
It's worth a watch. There's a lot of general music history in there. A lot of figures that I wasn't expecting, like that one off of Fleetwood Mac. I keep forgetting her name.
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks is in it for a little bit, and there's
Is it other hip hop people in there, like producers and stuff?
yeah. I mean,
that's-
they're quoted and stuff, but it's mainly about Dr. Dre and NWA and.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll explain Ice Cube then, won't it?
So it's fucking. It's. Oh yeah, no, Marilyn Manson is in it. It's,
Oh, well, there we
it's-
fucking go,
it's-
yeah.
But it isn't about. It's not like there's one about them.
Well, I thought
Oh,
the
is
way
he-
that I read it, Liam, me and you must be on
Yeah.
the same page. The way that I thought it was about different
No.
Yeah, same
figures.
No,
Okay.
it's about Dr. Dre and his producer who's called something Iovine or something like that. And so Ice Cube's in it, but he's not. I don't think he's. If he's interviewed, he appears like twice over the course of 4 hours.
right.
And
He's a
same-
big name, so they've put him in the film.
Yeah, and he's in, and it's about him in a
Yeah.
way because of NWA, and he has like this influence. But it's fucking, it's good, and it's such a like one of these documentaries where they're like doing techniques of trying to do new things. So there's big fucking cross dissolve in it because that's lame as fuck. But then you bring it back and it's alright in it. So there's big like huge cross dissolves.
Yeah.
Where there's like people fading out. There's a lot of like Dr. Dre will say something like, "Oh yeah," and then we opened up the studio and then that was that. And then he'll like keep talking and his mouth is moving, but they fade him out and then they fade in like fucking Eminem or something for ages. So Dr. Dre's mouth is moving and Eminem is talking underneath it. Like,
right.
I think
loads of stuff like
You
that.
want to see the longest cross dissolve in film history?
No.
I reckon. You'll hate it even more because it's in a Nicholas Winding Refn film.
Oh, yeah,
It's in Bronson, I think.
Oh,
it goes on forever. There's a
Which
cross
one's that?
dissolve.
The
What
Shining's
bit?
got a dead long cross as well.
Yeah, it does.
The Overlook-
It used to be the hotness, mate. It used to be, but
yeah, Twin Peaks has a good couple of cross dissolves.
Twin Peaks loves a good
The,
cross
the,
dissolve.
the title sequence of Twin Peaks is just cross dissolve over cross dissolve.
yeah, exactly. But then in like videography now, or not even now, maybe a year or two ago, you would have thought that's minging. Let's never do that.
Yeah.
But then this documentary does its fucking
coming
death.
Aesthetic, man.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's crazy.
So it's
yeah.
good. There's nice stuff in it.
But you know what? Yeah, let me. If you're going to talk about this, let me take the tone down a bit.
Take
right?
the floor. I'd hand you my microphone, but you've already got one.
Yo. I've been getting back into making music at the moment, actually, and it's all electronic music. So I am basically, do you know what I mean? Defiant 1 Season 2 in it. I'll tell you what, though, I have been.
Kulkovsky years.
yeah, fucking hell, man. Let me tell you though, right? I'm watching the worst trash on Netflix ever, but I'm hooked on it.
What?
Rhythm and Flow.
What is that?
Yo, it's like, anyone else that's watched Rhythm and Flow, let me know. I won't spoil it for you or nothing. It's basically the X Factor, yeah? But with rappers. Yeah?
Okay.
And it's like, so Cardi B, it's her, she's like produced it. It's her show.
Yeah.
You know Cardi B?
Yeah.
Okay, Cardi B. And then the other two judges is basically T.I., who's like pretty much a nobody, and Chance the Rapper, who is pretty popular.
T.I., I think I remember had one song when I was like
He was
16
featured on a few things, and not to be confused with T-Pain, who's the good one. Okay, T.I. was the shit one,
Okay.
and for some reason, he's a judge on it.
He's in Ant-Man.
Because he's not doing anything else.
He's doing fuck all. I'll tell you what he's doing. He's wearing suits to rap judging panels and keeps calling himself an entrepreneur. That's what he's doing.
Actually, he was in the news recently for a very gross thing.
Yes,
I won't say. Google it for yourself to see
Well,
how
that's
gross
his legacy.
it is.
That's his legacy.
That's a bonus podcast.
Yeah, no. Okay, what it was, I'll say it.
Okay.
T.I., that's his legacy now, and I'm glad in a way because his music was weird, right?
Close your ears if you don't want to hear a gross thing, I guess.
Well, it's not that gross.
No,
well,
it's just a bit weird. What it is?
It's very weird.
So T.I. is like old school, masculine, like homophobic rapper kind of thing, right? But he was doing a podcast recently off the back of this Rhythm and Flow because it's kind of brought his stock back up.
Yeah.
So they had him on like a breakfast show podcast sort of thing, where they have hip hop people
Joe
on.
Rogan.
Huh?
Joe
No, it was more like the Breakfast Club, which is quite a famous rap group, DJ breakfast show thing. And it wasn't that though; it was like a rip off of that. And T.I. was on it, and he says that every year he takes his daughter to the gynecologist to check that her hymen's still intact.
Oh,
Her virginity
that.
hasn't been taken, and she's 18 years old though.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "What
Fucking
the
hell.
fuck, weirdo?" Well, it is fucking weird, isn't it? But yeah, so that T.I.
Imagine not only doing that, but then just saying it on a fucking podcast.
But the way he says it as well, though, like, I'm the man sort of thing.
Like, I'm a good father.
I'm
Yeah,
not
he
letting
takes
anyone
weird
finger my
pride in
daughter.
it.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, T.I.? Anyway, so, yeah, he's in it.
Jesus.
And Cardi B, who's also very annoying. And Chance the Rapper, who's like the cool one, right?
Okay.
Anyway, so it's like that. They all rep their ends, don't they? And they all have, like, different tryouts, and then they get rappers on, and then the rappers compete in a series of different things. So, like, first it's like just solo raps, like, and then they do battle rap, and then they do like a cypher, and then they do like music videos and stuff like that. It's really quite good. I like the rapping's good in it and stuff. You know what I mean? I like the rapping, but like it's cool. It's good. Of course, everybody's got a sob story because
Yeah.
they're all from
You
the
have to,
streets, But some of them have got some.
Is
really...
Simon Cowell in any way associated with it?
Nah, instead of Simon Cowell, they got DJ Khaled in there though, and he's
As you
obviously sick though. So, and Timbaland's in it as well at one point, and he's the best there ever was, right, in hip hop. So, I've been watching that. It's absolute trash.
Is he?
Timbaland?
Yeah.
Timbaland is arguably the best music producer, not even including
But
rap music.
what
Including
about
pop.
Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre does hardly anything other than the same thing. He's got an MPC and he uses like the same jazz samples. He does one thing very well, but Timbaland
Music.
Yeah, and one like genre really well. But Timbaland does like pop music. He's done
Right.
techno, classic hip hop tracks. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like
I've never listened to
if you
it.
listen to like rap music, right? Like look, yeah, you know him though. You don't know that you know him. He did like Britney Spears tracks back in the day, Justin Timberlake, Nelly tracks, like things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
He was doing, and Missy Elliott. He was doing a Missy Elliott instrumentals. Like recently, like this rapper Ski Mask the Slump God. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to be bringing this up on the podcast and show my rap knowledge off, but he's released an EP recently, and everyone's talking about how fresh the instrumentals are. They are all Timbaland instrumentals from the late 90s. That's how ahead of the curve you were. Anyway, fuck. And also he's got a masterclass.
Sounds like a fucking buster to me, mate. Sounds like...
Mate, listen. Anyway, so yeah, I've been watching that, and it's pretty bad. It's funny that we've both been watching like
Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah.
hip-hop shit.
But I started, and I just
Liam, you got
remember.
anything to add? You've been watching-
Well, I have also been watching Netflix, but something far better. I watched The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance.
Oh, that's that creepy looking puppet
Yeah,
thing,
it's
isn't
the
it?
Jim Henson puppet show.
Yeah.
It's a prequel to the movie that came out in 1982, I think
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's surprisingly dark for a show that's only a PG. But it's great, you know. If
I
Game
put
of
it on my
Thrones,
list as soon as it came on, but I didn't.
it's
watch
like it's all puppetry. It's all mostly practical effects and all hand-built puppets. Very little CGI in it, but somehow it's a really good fantasy epic.
Yeah,
It's just it took me
Reviews
by surprise.
Were really good for it when it
Yeah.
came out. But
Yeah.
Netflix is full of hyperbole.
Mhm.
Everything is the scariest thing ever.
True.
Everything is the most epic thing ever. And
Like-
I don't think I watched the film because it
I
always.
saw it once years ago.
Yeah, I get it confused with like Labyrinth, but I've seen Labyrinth. Like,
Very similar visual styles,
Do you know
both
what I mean?
being from Jim Henson after all.
kind of creeps me out a bit though. That's why I
It's
haven't watched
definitely it's very creepy, especially like with Skeksis, who are like the main villains, like big bird
it. They
creatures.
look like skinned vultures, right?
They
Those
do, yeah,
things,
and they've all got like horrible, grotesque deformities and stuff like that, and so it's really intense and gets quite. I think in the second episode, one character has his eye poked out by a bug,
damn.
and it's only PG. It's like, damn,
Yeah,
you
how did they get away
calm
with that?
down, Jim. Well, he didn't make it, obviously he's not
I
alive
think
anymore.
isn't it his son though? Directly his son or something like that.
I think he's a producer.
Ah, right, got you.
But yeah, it's really good. Like it's got a hell of a cast in it. It's like the voice cast is mostly British.
Anya Taylor-Joy's in it, isn't she?
Yeah, the main leads are Taron Egerton, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Natalie Emmanuel, who was from Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
So
she-
she was
and she's
Daenerys's
and Hollyoaks.
and Hollyoaks and Fast and Furious movies. Actually, she's in.
Oh
there.
yeah.
yeah, and yeah, like Jason Isaacs is the main villain. Simon Pegg is one of the main villains. Who else? Like Ralph Ineson, he's in it as well.
Ralph, we
But
brought up Ralph last time, you know.
Yeah, you'll know his voice as soon as you hear it.
Yeah.
One of the good things, like watching this show, was like I recognise that voice.
Yeah,
Went on
yeah.
Google, was like, oh, it's Mark Strong.
I love
and
that
stuff
game.
like that.
I love doing that.
I like
I'm not very good at it.
because there was 2 times that I was like, is that Mark Strong? Googled it. It was Mark Strong. I was like, is that Helena Bonham Carter? It was.
That's good. I'm really not
Like-
very good at that. Apart from like really obnoxious ones like fucking John Oliver or something. Do you know what I mean?
Ones that annoy you.
Yeah, innit? Like yeah.
But, like the show is. It's a very detailed. It's got lore for days,
yeah.
and
In what way? Is it exposition heavy, or is it?
no, it's like from the first episode, it feels like a very fleshed out world
Cool.
Yeah.
from the get go.
Feels like there's stuff going on outside of the main story.
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, I can say it's very well acted, very well puppeteered. Is that a word?
guess.
And
yeah.
it tells a surprisingly in-depth story that went to some places I really wasn't expecting. it
Eye
to be.
gouging, for example.
Eye
By a
gouge-
bug.
by
Yeah.
puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
that's I didn't.
Yeah, and it explores some quite deep themes and. Even like goes into stuff like is destiny real or is life what you make of it? It gets quite heady
Oh, really?
at times.
What a PG.
It's really good. It took me by surprise, and I ended up binging like the last 7 episodes in a day.
Yeah.
I was that hooked on it.
My friend at work watched it when it came out, and like she was talking about it loads at the time. And I did mean to watch it, and
Yeah.
I put it on my list, and I still
Yeah.
want to watch it. I just haven't got around to
I
it.
don't want to say anything in case people are watching it, and I don't want to spoil it in case
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
do want to watch it. But if you are into like your dark fantasy,
Yeah.
this will be right up your alley.
Yeah,
Really?
cool.
It's really good.
I like it, you know. It didn't make me feel so unsettled to them puppets, you know. I would have watched it earlier, but I might watch it.
Yeah,
now.
well,
get
that's well
over
better
that
than what me
feeling.
and Jake said.
Speak for yourself, mate.
What?
DJ Khaled.
To be honest, the Dr. Dre thing's good as well.
Also, Skeksis or whatever. It did sound like a hip hop name, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
DJ
Skeksis.
They call him Skay for short.
Skate.
The other thing, the other thing I've been watching, I finished season 2 of Midnight Diner Tokyo Style,
yes.
which is just the
It's
most
hidden.
chill show on
Oh
the
my
planet.
God. It's a hidden gem. This
It
is
is.
truly the meaning.
I remember finding this on Netflix about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and they've only recently put season 2 on.
Yeah.
And the basic premise is it's about this small diner in a back alley of Tokyo, and it's run by a man who's only referred to as the master, and he opens his diner from midnight to 7 a.m. He's got one thing on the menu, but he'll cook anything people ask for, and if he's got the ingredients. And then it's just like a slice of life drama,
Yeah.
and it's usually each episode is themed around like one dish.
Yeah, one
And-
person normally on one dish.
Yeah,
isn't
it's like a person will come in, they'll ask him to make a dish, it'll have some nice like B-roll of him cooking, he'll present the dish to them, they'll eat it, and then it'll just like sort of slowly
Yeah.
go into like some personal issue they're having in their life.
Often it's because like the dish means something to them, but why? It's
Yeah.
memorable bites to show, man. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's based on a manga.
Memorable Bites is a good name for a show, actually.
Yeah. Why haven't we done
Let's
it?
work on it, mate.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
make that happen.
Kit Kat Chunkies.
Sell that one to Netflix.
But I love this show, and in fact,
It's really nice.
I recently finished season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I started watching it weirdly before they brought season 2 out again, and then
Yeah.
there was 3 episodes left. Boom, season 2's out. It's amazing. It's like I don't do any of this meditation shit, but I have a feeling this is probably the closest I'll get in my
Yeah.
life.
Oh yeah,
It's
like
so relaxing.
I only ever watched it like overnight.
There's a bit of a spooky episode, though, isn't there, in season
There-
1?
Yeah.
Ghost bit, innit? There's like some ghosts in that in one episode, and I was like,
It's a midnight diner, mate. What do you
getting
mean?
freaked out. Yeah, I know.
It's like
Well,
a daytime diner.
It's like there's all sorts of
What's-
random stuff. There's like people who've just got off a long shift at work come in. There's a Yakuza boss who regularly goes
Yeah.
there.
It's
for
about
dinner.
all the clientele of this guy's, and it's
Yeah.
based on a manga, right? Actually, but and there's some films of it as well. There's
It started out as films, but
Yeah.
they spun off into a TV
and
show.
it's the same actor as far as I know
Yeah,
as well.
he's been the same guy since the beginning.
It's well worth a watch if you.
It's like yeah,
it's-
they're like 25 minutes an episode.
It's like I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but it feels like if you've got like insomnia or something and you want to watch something relaxing. So maybe not insomnia, that's extreme and that's a real thing. But like if you struggle to sleep and you need to unwind before you go to bed by watching something,
Good
that's the
show.
thing about TV these days, isn't it? There's a lot of drama and a lot of dramatics.
Yeah.
What about like good lava lamp watching? This is it. This
Yeah.
is the Himalayan salt lamp.
More
of TV
often than
shows.
not, it is sort of food-related stuff that gets that right as well, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, Chef's Table and stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
I
oh,
watched
that's-
a chef show of a night in bed just
Yeah.
on my phone.
I've seen
Yeah.
a bit
Jon
of that, actually.
Favreau.
Yeah.
They added
was
this
good.
new one with fucking Dave Chang again because he's in everything on Netflix.
Yeah.
And Seth Rogen, I can't remember what it is. Well, he's one of the guests on it, and it keeps. Seth Rogen has got the
Oh.
most punchable face out of everybody's
I
face.
watched
right?
one
Seth
episode of that,
Rogen's
put it
popping
off,
up
yeah.
everywhere on Netflix.
I know, like, it's like whack-a-mole, mate. I'm trying to get rid of it. And I know he's a very likable guy to a lot of people,
It's
but
his, like, his laugh is like a bit...
yeah, I feel like it's getting. I feel
That
like
was
it's,
actually a fucking bang
I
on
feel like it's a
impression.
bit put on though, because
I don't know, yeah.
It's
That-
iconic at this point.
That's what I mean. That's like I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like he does it.
Like the Jimmy Carr laugh or something, like...
Yeah,
That can't
Almost,
be your
yeah.
natural laugh. Like, so.
and then also like you notice how since it was like got pointed out, like it happens a lot more. Or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway, like yeah, it's some Dave Chang going around with all these different celebrities cooking food and shit, man. But I don't know. I need to watch some more high end drama. Like there's Watchmen I should be watching, innit?
Watchmen's
Yeah.
been good.
Rhythm and Flow.
The latest episode of Watchmen, if you've been bored by the show at this point, try and make it to this latest episode, which is the 5th one, I think.
Okay.
Some good shit goes down.
It's a lot of hours.
Yeah, Mike in his head going no.
I'm a bit, yeah. I
I-
feel like, you know, the Emperor in Rome, like in, what's it called? Gladiator, that film.
Yeah, I know it.
Like, I've
yeah.
had
Joaquin
that.
Phoenix.
It's had that.
Yeah.
fucking-
Okay.
After 2 episodes
Try-
for me.
Ooh,
Try
feed them to the
and get
lions.
into episode 5 because they stop with all the mystery box shit.
I
And
don't-
stop trying to make everything deliberately obtuse.
Oh, because
I don't know what it is about it, you know. It's
There's literally like episode 5 of Watchmen. They sort of sit you down and go like, "Look, here's what's really going on,"
yeah.
sort of thing.
I quite like the theme. I think the first episode was really strong, but then the second episode,
Yeah.
there's a specific type of telly that I just can't be arsed with, and that falls comfortably in that bracket.
Does Westworld fall into that as well?
Well,
That's the type of telly I
for,
can't-
for
season
first
2
season,
definitely fell into that for me.
for first season it did not. I enjoyed it. Second season, yeah. I mean, that is to do a disservice to Watchmen. To be fair, Watchmen isn't as bad as Westworld season 2.
Okay.
Season
Westworld,
1,
I can see is going somewhere. Not Westworld. Watchmen is going somewhere.
Do you think that if you Liam, I mean now, not you, Mike.
Yeah, fuck.
Never you. No, do you think if you've not watched a TV show, you should carry on watching it? Or does it make sense for people that haven't watched the film or read the book still? Because that's what I mean. Because like so far, I watched the first episode. I knew what was going on. Sean didn't have a fucking clue.
yeah.
Well, for me, it's not even billed as you need to watch the movie or the comic. For me, it's
That's
just
what I mean.
here's a new IP. Everyone, watch this. That's what it feels like to me.
I know what
Like,
you mean.
it's intended
it's-
for a new audience.
What? How it's billed? How it's shown off?
How it's been marketed and billed.
That's what I mean. It's not even. It's called a successor, isn't it? But it's clear.
It might as well be a
No,
sequel.
no. It's called. Sorry, it's called a reimagining. That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
it feels like.
But
Well, I
it's-
can watch this. I don't know anything about the Watchmen, but I'll give it a spin.
But it's a direct like sequel, man. Doctor Manhattan's in episode 1, and like
Yeah.
Hooded Justice and all that, and you're like,
Laurie, yeah.
It's-
Silk
it's such-
Spectre is in episode 3
it
onwards.
starts. Oh,
It's not a spoiler.
no,
She's
no,
been
cool,
in the
no,
trailers.
I'm just like, that's good to know that there's more stuff, and it's like raining squids and shit, and like so much of that is like, it's not an Easter egg at that point.
Yeah.
Is what I mean. So, but it's a bit like American Gods, though, isn't it? Like if you just watch it one episode at a time, 1 week at a time.
I think for me personally, if I wasn't already familiar with the Watchmen like universe, it would probably make me retroactively go back. But that's just me. I can't.
Yeah,
I don't expect someone who's never heard of Watchmen to like see the first episode and then immediately go buy the comic
Yeah.
or the Blu-ray
Yeah.
of the film or whatever. But that's just how my mind works with stuff like this. Like if I'm fascinated by it, and I'll go back and retroactively catch up.
For me, it's got to work. As if it's the first season of a TV show, it's got to fucking work on its own. It's got to be its own thing.
I think it does work so far. Anyway, I think it is working on its own.
Yeah.
And any mentions of, like comic related stuff, like characters or like an Easter egg in the background, I think is just like, here's one for you guys.
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of
Oh,
thing.
really? So it's not actually doesn't build up to be
Yeah.
that relevant.
I
as
feel
well.
like if you watch it completely unfamiliar after a few episodes, I think you'll get a general idea of where the story's going.
Yeah.
That's good to know because I only watched the first episode, and then I've been watching Mr. Robot and his Dark Materials, which is I don't know if that's how that's going down. Like the Americans love a bit of British TV, don't they? And they
Yeah.
adopt like Doctor Who and Sherlock and Peaky Blinders. This was supposed to be the new one, wasn't it? This was like they've been planning and hoping really.
It's produced by a Welsh company, that.
Yeah, Bad Wolf or whatever. Yeah, it does mention it loads
it's,
in
a,
it. Like,
it's a BBC HBO co-production, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah, and it's I don't know if I like it. You know, I'm up to date with it, so I'm on episode 4. I've read the books, and I don't really like. I don't know if it's because I'm a book reader and I know and I can remember like pretty much identically like the plot. They're introducing so much of the second book in the first couple of episodes that there's whole parts of the plot that will matter eventually. But at the time, you're like, "What's this guy doing? Why is he going there? Why is it take?" And it takes quite a lot of time building this thing up.
Yeah.
And there's a big revelation at the end of the first book that they spoil in the second episode of the show. Like everything seems so out of whack. It's like I can't get my head around it. And also there's just something off about it. It's like not over. It's not the HBO level. It's not. It's not
More
quite
BBC.
there. Yeah, and it's noticeable. And I don't know why that's a problem, because what's wrong with BBC? But I was expecting like that Watchmen thing, which is so slick now, isn't it? Like how that's shot and how
Yeah.
that budget. But this is like, it's not like ramped up enough. I didn't think.
Yeah, I've only seen the first episode and I liked what was there. I just need to catch up with the rest of it.
I
So-
think
but
I wonder
I've
how
not read
much
the
of a
books.
problem it would be for people that haven't read the books, yeah, because I just know like, oh, that's spoiled, and that would have been a good ending if they just followed the story. That's a really good moment, built up really nice. And why aren't they just telling this story in season 2, which is going to be the second book?
Yeah.
What they're running the 2 books in tandem, so they can spend a lot of time on the third book's plot, I guess. But because of that, you've got 2 stories that've got absolutely nothing to do with each other, and won't until at least the end of this season. So unless they really change something again. But in that case, why?
Yeah.
You've got gold there, so
Yeah.
that's what it's typical book reader problems, though, isn't this?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I think yeah, because you do look at it from a different you look at it from the lens of knowing where it's going, don't you? So it's like,
Yeah.
well, you know where
Yeah.
where the book goes. So yeah, I was fancying it, but I still haven't got around to watching any of that.
Yeah.
Which
And I guess you haven't read the book.
no.
Oh,
So
that'd be
I might give the first episode a spin just to see.
Yeah, you'll see some familiar places, probably.
Maybe
It's
yeah.
shot around here, you know. Well, some
That's
bits
true.
really are.
Same Watchmen, isn't it?
It's the same. Oh yeah, and Watchmen is as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know them Watchmen scenes that are shot around here, they're the ones with Jeremy Irons in, basically.
The
That was-
Wales unit. I've seen them in the credits. They call it the
Yeah.
Wales unit.
That was all shot very like in my town here in Bangor, in the castle here. But I think a lot of that stuff seems, I don't know if it's how intentional it is, but it just seems like pretty artificial to me. Like in Watchmen, just seems a bit glossy and like
Like they've
Don't know.
touched it up a bit.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's the presentation of it, and I think it's like the lines and all the master stuff and all that, and I think, to be honest, it's Jeremy Irons. Like, I don't think he's very good.
He's hamming it up big time
he
in
is,
Watchmen,
yeah.
but I'm enjoying how much he's hamming it up, to be honest.
So, I think I
I feel like something his character would be like.
I've not enjoyed him in anything for a long time.
The Lion King.
The only
Probably
things,
The Lion King.
the
to be
only other
honest.
movies I could tell you he's been in are The Lion King, Die Hard 3, and
That's a
Shite.
good shout.
and Inland Empire by David Lynch.
He was also in a film that had Orlando Bloom as the fucking leader of men in Jerusalem, which was called
Kingdom
Kingdom of Heaven.
the Ridley Scott one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons was in that.
You know, I remember that film.
But other than that, yeah, I can't. You know, what's he done since Lion King is what I'm saying. But
Well,
I just
Peaked too early as a lion.
He peaked with Simon Gruber in Die Hard.
Die Hard 3. Is
Yeah,
that the one
he's
on the
good in
plane? No.
No, it's
No.
one in
The,
New
the
York.
bombs and the taxis.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's the bombs in New York.
it's the
Is
least
Die Hard.
memorable of the setups, I reckon, because it's like tower, planes, taxis
Yeah,
or something.
Tower, airport, just New York in general.
Yeah.
Taxis, trains, just New York public transport. And then Die Hard 4 was obviously like the 4th of July. Die Hard 5 ain't worth talking about.
Didn't even know it was a thing.
It's terrible.
Die
don't
Hard.
watch.
Too old to die
No,
hard.
that's-
A
the
good
second one.
day to Die Hard. It's,
Oh yeah.
No, is
What
it?
did I
It's
see?
too old to die hard. Actually, a thing.
They are making another
I
Die
think is it
Hard.
going to be called that?
Are you thinking of James Bond? Too Old to Die Young?
That's the first thing I said to you, both of you in the WhatsApp.
Too old to die young is a thing, isn't it? Nicholas Van Ruffen, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's the right?
Too
What's
Old
what's
to Die.
the
Too
new
old
James-
to
No Time to
no,
Die.
Too Old to Die Hard. I think is the working title of the new Die because it's a. I remember thinking, is that a dick joke? As a title, and then I remember being like genuinely like, what the fuck?
There's going to be
You know-
some vague resemblance to a blue pill.
Just go full circle and call it Die Hard, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, connect it
He
to
said he wants to do
Death
some films, you know, Kojima.
Hard, die, in it.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
All I've got to say is this, right? And I'm quite happy to end everything I've got to say on this note. Yeah, speaking
Okay.
of New York, yeah, mate. I don't want to talk about telly no more unless I'm talking about not Rhythm and Flow, not the Defiant ones.
we
Nothing
have
but
been rambling about telly for
Mr.
half an
fucking
hour.
Robot, and I'm not going to say anything about it because it's still ongoing.
I've finally got onto it. I finally got around to watching a bit of Mr. Robot. It is good. It's really
You say
good.
a bit, mate. You're halfway fucking through it.
I watched season
50%
season
through it.
1 and I'm halfway through season 2 pretty much.
Yeah. So you've only got the whole of season 3 and then half of season 4. So yeah, you're halfway through.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's shot so well that it's old news in it, but it's like that. I feel like that does quite a bit of the work for me anyway. Like sometimes the writing and stuff's a bit annoying, and the story in the first season is like, I'm not going to say anything, but but I was a bit disappointed with where it went in the first season, but still, I'm
Everything
enjoying it.
together is what makes it work.
Yeah.
There's not many things that are outstanding about it by themselves, apart from the way it's shot.
Yeah.
And
I'd say the
So the-
performances are
I
great.
was going to say, especially towards the last 2 seasons,
Yeah.
the acting is standout. And this season, do you know what as well I like? The music.
Oh, the music's fantastic.
Not just
Yeah,
a curation of like.
it's quite.
good-
I've been listening to it in my head when I'm not watching it, which is a
Yeah.
big sign. So I can hear the tune, and I'm thinking, where have I heard that?
the
And then,
tracks that he puts on are very nice as well, like all the modern pop music and stuff. And then the original score
Yeah.
is really good.
there was one
the-
scene in it, right, which is in Times Square in New York, or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's dreadful.
Season 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
the Times Square scene, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty shocking. Like, I can't believe that someone went, yes, let's put that in. You know,
Yeah. I think that was more the stunt, wasn't it, about Times Square? Do you get me?
What?
The idea of having it empty.
No. The one where it's full protests.
Oh, okay.
And even having it empty, that was bad.
I
right?
see.
But
Right.
then when there's loads of there's like, it's just, I can't believe they thought that was good enough for TV. Really, I just
Oh, yeah.
it was really bad. Like I would have fucking
you would
reshot
have,
that.
what you would have done, would you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I
you
would have
have
done it.
shared, yeah.
I would have been like, hey, listen,
You're
we
no
need-
Sam Esmail.
we need to do this one
Producer
again.
Mike Williams tells us what he would have done.
It's there was like they had the like classic trick of having like 6 people with protest signs
Yeah.
to give the impression that there was tens of thousands of people on the street. But it was like Star Wars: The Phantom Menace had better CGI than yeah.
I will say, season 1, they do take a bit to find their footing.
Yeah.
After that, it's pure magic.
Yeah.
See, like, let me say
Okay.
something about this new season that is not at any point a spoiler unless you are. But at the same time, very validating if you know what I'm on about. There's a chase scene in it that is happening in the middle of the real New York with real people that didn't even know that they were in the thing, and it's shot in a way like high up so you don't have to get their faces, so they didn't have to sign paperwork, and they're all onlookers. And that scene, have you read up on this? The scene
so.
took a couple of takes because New Yorkers are heroes and they kept tackling the person getting chased thinking that it was a real
That's hilarious.
criminal. And there was real cars swerving out the way and everything. Yeah, big.
That's good.
Caused a bit of drama actually because it was they've gone all out. He's really
Yeah.
flexing now, but I can't recommend it enough, and it's on Amazon if you got Amazon. And if you haven't got Amazon, it's well worth getting Amazon Prime because
Yeah, some good stuff on there.
well, I was saying on a regular podcast, like Kale and his girlfriend were playing flipping Pokemon on the Switch, and Kale's his job is Twitch streaming. And I was like, have you not got the free Nintendo thing with Twitch Prime? But no one knows about it. Like, I have to keep reminding people. If you've got Nintendo Switch and you've got Amazon Prime, most people have both, you can get that Nintendo Switch online for a year. It's
You've
worth
told
it.
me about that and I forgot.
It's worth it just for Super Mario World because you
Yeah.
get the SNES emulator then
You
unlocked.
get the NES and SNES.
Yeah, and that Tetris Effect thing.
Oh, Tetris Royale. Tetris
Sorry,
99.
not Tetris Effect. Yeah, sorry.
Tetris Effect is amazing.
Yeah, Tetris, the shitty Battle Royale one. But then,
Sneak peek of my games of the decade. Tetris Effect is in there.
oh, given it. We need to do that soon.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
Well, we'll do that over Christmas. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We'll have a few special videos over
Yeah.
the Christmas and
We've seen some, and it was a lot of patrons actually who replied last podcast
yep.
with some of their entries for Game of the Decade. I've
It's
seen
a
some
big question, isn't it? But what's interesting, I think, is the ones that come to your mind first, and because there's so many games. After a while, you'd be like, oh god, yeah, and there's that one, and there's that. But then, like, well, if they didn't spring to mind as quickly as some of the other ones, you got to think about that, haven't you? You got to think
Yeah.
about what the ones that come up first.
Makes
though.
you think.
Yeah,
We got another one of these in the next 7 days. So
yeah.
hopefully we will not talk about Mr. Robot again. Maybe we'll talk about. Maybe Mike would have seen Rhythm and Flow. Maybe I would have seen the Defiant ones. Who knows? Yeah, we'll listen to T.I.'s discography or something.
Look forward to that. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have watched some films and stuff in the coming week. Some film.
Students
of film.
What's even out soon? Like
Hey,
in
hang
cinemas.
on. Frozen 2's out.
Oh,
Very fucking
Frozen
soon.
2, yeah.
I just seen Doctor Sleep in the cinema.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Good. It was enjoyable. It was.
Sequel to The Shining.
The
Dr.
sequel to The
Sleep.
Shining, starring Ewan McGregor. It's a Stephen King book which came out, I think, about I don't know,
2012.
10 years ago, and
Years ago.
and it says like the most Stephen King film you've ever seen in your life, which has got about
Kids orgies.
It's got about 10.
If you don't get that reference right, just trust me. All right?
There's so many characters to begin with, and there's so many like special abilities, and there's so many. It feels like a novel, and there's things in the film where they've obviously gone, well, this is really big in the novel. We've got to get one scene in. So,
like arguably, most people that do films on books should do.
I don't know. I think it's a different medium, isn't it? It's a different.
Fucking producer Mike Williams at it again. Right, yeah, I get
what are you just going to say that every time I have an opinion on a fucking?
Definitely, because it's so easy. It's such a low hanging fruit now. I'll be like, someone's a fucking producer. Do you know what I mean? It's easy.
Well, listen. Do you know what I mean? Though it's like
Can I ask you a question about this? Stanley Kubrick went one way too far.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He did go very far one way.
Well, Stephen
too far.
According to Stephen King,
opinion,
he
isn't
went
it?
too far.
Well, yeah, The Shining isn't even in the film The Shining, really, is it? It's in it for about four seconds or something. So I would say he's gone too far, because he's took the main thing out of it, The Shining, out of it. Is Mike Flanagan gone too far the other way, do you think? Do you think he's kept too much in from a novel point? And I know you've not read the book, right?
I don't know, yeah, I haven't read it, but I'm just saying it feels very novel-like in setting, and if you watch it, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean, because there's loads of little like.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Now, to be fair, like, because I just said then, like, most people should put things in a book, but I know what you mean. Sometimes things feel like a book.
Yeah,
like,
and there's time jumps in it, and there's characters that are set up, and you feel like they're probably an amalgamation of a couple of characters, and either that or they're only there to serve a specific purpose in the book that isn't that big of a deal in the film. So then they're like, why are they there really in the film? Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a difficult job to translate a book into a film. Camera's gone off. It's a really difficult thing to do. But with the Stephen King book especially, he's like, you can tell like when he's writing. Like I've read a few Stephen King novels, and you can tell when he's writing. He's like, oh yeah, and then this'll happen, and he'll just go off on tangents. He's not like the kind of author who's going to plan everything ahead and like he knows where he's going. So then that comes through a little bit in the film, but it was a lot of fun. I thought it was like there was one scene in it with a kid that I was quite uncomfortable with, because the kid was like, I think was just acting too well, to be honest, and it was like. It was just not a nice, and I'm not even a parent or anything. It was just not a nice scene, really. It was pretty horrible.
Nice,
but it was that. But then again, that's a bit bookish in the feeling like, well, that's there to justify why you're not supposed to like this set of characters and stuff, and but it was. I feel it sounds like I'm being a bit negative on it, but I did enjoy it. I think Ewan McGregor is the most enjoyable I've seen.
Since Fargo season 3,
Obi-Wan.
Not seen it. Obi-Wan, motherfucking Kenobi, and I haven't seen the new Trainspotting either, actually. So I don't know.
It's good actually. Trainspotting.
I've not seen it.
Quite liked it.
So, but he was good, and he seemed like he was having a good time with it. And the couple of there's a child actor in it who's really fucking good. I thought she was great anyway, and it felt like I was watching a really big fucking Joss Whedon, Buffy the Vampire Slayer sort of fantasy horror. Hiding in plain sight type of thing, and I enjoyed it. Like, it's so easy, for a sequel to The Shining to be absolute crap, and it just wasn't. It wasn't.
Mike Flanagan, man, secretly the best horror director.
A lot of fun it was.
Not been doing well at the box office though, from what I've read online.
Yeah. It was an empty screen. It was really empty. I took my mum to watch it, and there was maybe like 2 or 3 other people.
Odd demographic crossover, if you ask me. Loads of people that it's aimed at weren't old enough to see The Shining, and won't go. Date night horror kids won't go and see it, will they?
I think there was a few nods to The Shining in there. I feel, by your tastes, Jake, I feel like they would annoy you a little bit. Like you're like, oh, why is I could sense The Shining connections being a little bit annoying.
Did your Shining with me come through and you could hear me going fucking wow?
Yeah, we definitely have a strong Shining connection, but I thought it was good. I thought I liked the little visual nods. But I'm saying that as someone like, for example, The Force Awakens. I just fucking loved that start to finish. Nothing wrong with it. I don't care how close it was to Star Wars: A New Hope. But then you can come out of it going, well, that's exactly the same as Star Wars: A New Hope. Well, I don't care about that. So I was quite happy with a few of the things in it, but it's good. I'd recommend it if you want a horror film that isn't quite a horror film and is a bit of a dark fantasy thing. Give it a watch on it. Right, that's enough. See you later. Bye.